My name is Rachel Smith. I'm the Family Service Coordinator for Cancer Focus Northern Ireland. I manage a programme which supports children throughout Northern Ireland who have a significant adult with cancer at any point on that cancer journey or experience. When you are diagnosed with cancer, it's really important to talk to your children about what cancer is, the treatment plan and where the cancer is within your body. But then we get to the stage of when the cancer is going to take mummy or daddy's life, and it's helping a child understand that. So hopefully you've built this block that they understand that there's cancer in the body, where the cancer is in the body, and then it's explaining that the cancer is really taking over and it's making mum or dad so sick that it's going to take their life away. What I don't recommend is giving children timescales. I don't recommend saying to a child, the doctors have said 6 months, because 6 months in the life of a 5-year-old is very different than 6 months in the life of an adult. To use clear, concise language. Often children will ask, is mummy going to die? And the answer needs to be yes. And it is the most painful thing you're probably ever going to have to say to a child. But that really helps children and young people in the future. It's also helping children understand that the doctors and the nurses are making sure that daddy's not in any pain, it doesn't hurt anymore, and it doesn't mean that their life is going to change. Their life will stay the same. And often what I do with children is give them lists of all the people who love them and look after them. So it's making your child's world feel safe when it feels that it's falling apart. It's asking them questions about, do they want to be there when mummy or daddy dies? Where do they want to be? Do they want to be nearby? Do they want to be far away? It's keeping them involved and giving them choices when everything feels completely out of control. And then after the death, it's explaining to them that mummy or daddy has died and not using mystical language. If that is your faith and religion, of course say they've gone to heaven, but say they've died and gone to heaven. You don't need to move away from your faith, but keep that clear language going. And also involve them in the funeral and explain what a funeral is. Otherwise, a child just walks into a room and there's a coffin and a box, or a child isn't taken to a funeral and then years later they say, well, why wasn't I allowed to be there? Ask what part they want to have in the funeral. Often children don't cry, and that's okay. And often children don't want to talk about it, and that's okay too. One of the things that people say to children sometimes is you need to be the man about the house or the grown-up about the house when they've just lost their mum or dad, and they're still children and they still need to be children and seen as children, and those aren't helpful things to say. With teenagers, it's not expecting them to suddenly become grown-ups when they're kids, and often there was he was 20 and he was really struggling with the loss of his mum, and he was struggling being an adult, and I was saying, well, for a bit, let him not be an adult. You know, let him go back to that being a child, let him regress a bit. And I think often with all age of children or young people, there's a regression, and it's just accepting that, and it's probably short-lived. If they feel they need further support, then the family support team can come in and we can go and do visits with the family and talk to the children. If they want to talk about it, we help them make memory boxes and that sort of thing. And we also have our monthly bereavement group that happens here, and it's a drop-in for families from throughout Northern Ireland. We also have a project called Writing for the Future, where if people are in the palliative stage of treatment and the outlook isn't so good, one of us will help them record and write books to leave behind for their children, and also help them write eulogies for funerals and stuff like that.